Alright. Think we're good here? Alright, so, we're back to finish this game once and for all. This will probably be the final part because I'm literally on the final mission. The goal is we just need to secure 3 of these buildings. Already have that. And I went back and I fixed my squad, so now they'll have weapons and armor. Now that I know you bring 16 soldiers on here, not 12. Yeah. So, yep. Show me it. And let's see how this final mission goes. I'll talk about what I think, what I'm gonna do next time I do a run of this and how I'm gonna improve some of my gameplay, because there were a lot of mistakes this run. Technically, this is actually a failed run. I lost this run, but I lost it basically at the end, so I was like, I really don't want to just walk away when I was basically at the end. I wanted to finish it to see what happened. Yeah. Let's do this. Alright, so that first part, yeah, we're kind of put in a blender. I could have handled it better, but in reality, we start off in the middle of the open with nothing but shotguns against, what was it, like 7 to 8 long range shooters just plinking us before we get to the door. So the options are either A, rush to the doors and hope there aren't any enemies that can kill us on the inside, or B, try to like smoke and hope that they don't shoot us constantly. Probably could have done B if I actually had smokes. But now that I know what it's like, definitely next time I do a run, I'm definitely bringing a lot more smokes, and I'm definitely bringing 1 or 2 jetpack troopers. Let's do it. This is it. This is the best defense you've got. 4 of these little chuds. No extra turrets, no tanks, no automatons. Well, you better have a trick up your sleeve because I don't think you're gonna be feasting on plasma pretty soon. Data, good shots. Viceroy, you're next.
Operation Endgame was successful. The loss of the High Eternal ends the alien resistance, and your soldiers quickly secure the quantum beacon. All hostilities cease. You accept the extraterrestrial surrender personally, taking control of the planets and peoples of the Eternal Empire in the name of all mankind. The Xenonauts are hailed as heroes, your names written into the history books as the saviors of humanity. Your appointment as the first president of the new interdimensional federation is a formality. Reluctantly, you accept. The years that follow see extraterrestrials take their place alongside mankind as equal citizens of the Federation. Human lives become longer, healthier, and vastly more comfortable. People marvel at the new technologies around them and the alien creatures living among them. Your own time eventually draws to a close. You have no way of knowing whether this period of interdimensional peace outlives you, but you find contentment in the knowledge you have done all you can. Well done, Commander.
Humanity finally stands victorious against a mighty internal empire. Though many lives are lost along the way, the Xenonauts have saved our entire species from endless servitude. Campaign difficulty, Soldier. Campaign duration, 18 hours and 10 minutes. End date, just over a year. And a lot of that was just preparation for the last mission. It was downed, 131. Missions 130. Missions lost, 1. Aliens killed, 366. Soldier lost, 23. However, remember, this is a failed run because I died at the second to last, campaign mission. Because I didn't quite know what I was running into. So that is it for this run of Xenonauts 2. Takeaways from this? Wow, I'm bad at strategy. Okay, all things aside, I'm bad at strategy games, but more specifically, the idea of a shotgun only run really isn't actually the hardest thing in the world. The biggest problem you have is straight up, getting into close ranges against enemies that are literally gonna pop you from half a mile away. Though at least on this AI, and there's a lot of changes for AI early on, it's not the hardest. If you do a decent amount of smoking, use a series of smokes, if they think they can't get an unsmoked shot at you, they'll just run away, which gives you more time. Or you can get bait them into a trap, if you could do it earlier. And with the ability of being able to just run up and grab things like in the inductions and clear missions without really having to worry about being ambushed or cornered, because you'll probably win the ambush if you have enough time units. It's pretty decent. However, I didn't use corners and positioning effectively enough, which led to a lot of deaths. I wasn't managing my TUs properly during a lot of the Overwatch missions, which led to a lot of people getting caught out and killed. The use of a medic I might phase out now that I know more about the game, because the only thing a medic really does is stop bleeding, and eventually we're going to be picking up the med kits that would just stop bleeding anyways. And since I'm trying to get through a mission as fast as possible, the only thing I really care about is that bleeding stops. The biggest problem at that point is injury timers, which I'll get to in a second. I definitely need to be way more careful with the stalker units. God, they were fucking crack shots. And even though I kind of ignored, for the most part, some of the weaker units near the end of there, I need to keep an eye on them too. But I definitely know the priorities could be those, cloaking enemies, because they can pop you, followed by the lizard people, because their auto fire can suppress and it can do a lot of damage. Then Andromedons, I just can't do anything against them other than hope they miss and then pop them in the brain. And then it's basically sectons. I forget exactly what they call them already, but it's basically just fucking sectons. Mantis are, I don't think I've ever had a problem with Mantis. Mantis are basically the early game stalkers, so I'd rather just, I don't even see them as a threat. They're so easy to kill, and they can do a lot of damage, but if I use the other strategies that would take down everything else, I don't even consider them a threat. I'd probably put them above sectons, but below civilians. However, that's just the ground battles. I made so many overall mistakes, and I need to do a little bit more studying on how air game works, because air game is weird in this game, at least when it comes to auto-resolving. So, auto-resolving the attacks. So, auto-resolving the attacks, it didn't really show me what exactly was happening, but it seems like if you're actually going to auto-resolve, you don't even need to have powerful ships. What you need is more of them. So, you should be rushing 3 hangars, which I think I will be doing from here on in, because I tried doing, actually got into an air combat, and I'm bad at the air combat in this game. Holy shit. I'd rather not try that again. I would just auto-resolve. The base building, I need to build more living quarters. I think having only, I think for how fast the campaign goes, you only really need 4 generators. So 4 generators in square, the 3 radars, and you can put them anywhere really. You don't get JC bonuses, so it doesn't matter. Get that, and I need 2 training centers. The reason I need 2 training centers because I vastly underestimate how good training centers were. I just thought they were like, they'll give a few stats here and there. You can, if you have enough of the, if you have the right nations under your control, you can get sergeants right away. And those guys, when they end on the final mission, were basically just recruited before the mission. They were already lieutenants. Yeah, I need to get a training. I need to get 2 of them right next to each other. You only need 1 medical center, so that's all I have to worry about. I end up making 4 hangars near the end. And I think that's what I'm going to do, 4 hangars. And the other base structure, I really only need it as an aerial outpost on the early difficulty. I don't really need 2 outposts. As long as it's defended with turrets, I shouldn't have to worry about getting invaded. I really like to have it. Just have what I think I liked it before. Just have the triple radar. Triple radar, just an IG. I think it was 2 I had at the end there. To run the base. 3 hangars, like 3 ships. I know we're basically just dropping everything because you don't have to care because the dropship can go from anywhere. And as long as you time it properly, you don't have to worry about like having a proper dropship in the right time. And I never got invaded once, and that might be the difficulty or how well I was playing the air game. Well, in quotations. I never got invaded once in any of my bases, so none of my bases was destroyed. I had more enough for another base if I needed it, but I just didn't want to make it. Other than that, though, now that I know that you can only kill like 3 ships before the countries themselves are like, oh yeah, we kind of want them. Definitely gonna be just grab 3 ships. Yeah, basically grab 3 ships, go get those missions out of the way, get as much research as possible, and use those properly. Oh, speaking of which, research. I definitely, the second I can get nanotechnology, go for it. Because those self-repair kits saved me probably so many of my troops there. The one that allows you 360 degrees is pretty good too. Also, I don't need to capture that many troops. This isn't XCOM and this isn't Xenonauts 1. You don't need to capture a lot of troops like you did before. You don't need to capture officers and stuff. Now, all you need to do is capture them to get the observation bonus and training bonus. And that's it. That's all you have to do. I never even captured a Reaper by the end. I should have done that. Reapers are also like useless basically for this build because they just, if they don't like get on us right away and hit us, they die. They just die. There's nothing they can do. Other than that though, is there anything else? I think just knowing the layouts will make my life a lot easier. Like, if I knew how bad that, like, first half of the final mission was going to be, I would have brought jetpacks. I would have at least had a few troops with jetpacks. Probably on my colonels, so they can go up there and get their work done. Because if I was able to run up, basically, for intensive purposes, and clear the roofs, it would have been so much cleaner. Because I had to worry about all those people shooting at me from the top, I lost 3 people before I even got into the middle of the base. And then I lost 1 more, but that was... It just happens, you know? Really good shot. Is there anything else? I'm gonna do a second run of this. Maybe on my own personal time, but... Because there's a few things I want to try out. Really fun challenge. I think if I do it again recording, I'm gonna bump up the difficulty. But if I do another run right away... I'm going to go on the normal difficulty again just to see if I can do it better, because like I said, there's a lot of things I fucked up on. I need to figure out base layouts. I really need to figure out base layouts. I do need I'm literally just thinking right now, it's like I need a storm for that then. Yeah, I could probably do that. I'm sorry, I'm just literally thinking. Yeah, that's probably work. Yeah, and it being placed the first, because these games usually work in a way that like aliens will usually focus on a certain country at the beginning. Them focusing on Russia when that was my least prioritized one, because I was making a joke of being America. That was not good. I figured it out, but that was not good. Is there anything else I need to think about this? Not particularly. Prioritize weapons over armor, because weapons, if you can get the one-hit KO, you won't have to worry about armor, and even if you have the best armor in the game, as you saw at the end there, you can still get one shot. Armor can mitigate the one-shotness, and definitely against some weaker calibers, but for the most part, the best way in this particular game style, play style, to mitigate losses is to just not get hit. Stalker armor might actually help with that. I'll probably experiment that in a second run. But I think that should be it for now. That is the end of this run. Messy. Obviously it's a failed run because of the second last mission, but even ignoring all that and just moving on, messy. But fun. Really, really fun. It's really fun to have to like work your way around a lot of these limitations. I'll be doing another challenge run soon. I'm gonna see if I can do a Borderlands 4 challenge run. And I'm gonna tell you, that one's gonna be much harder than this one. Oh god, I'm not looking towards that one because I've been practicing with it and not good. You'll see what I mean though. But for now, the Battleman, starting off.